Well, hey guys, welcome to the Willow Ridge Acres weekly puppy live stream. I hope that it's working good for you. Let us know in the comments right now in the chat if you can see us, if it's glitching at all. As we were setting this up, we were trying to come to you live from the garage like we normally do. We've got the cameras on the whelping boxes out there in the garage still, but I thought I had the Wi-Fi issue fixed. But literally while we were setting it up, I'm doing like speed tests out there, and it was lagging big time. So I don't think we have it fixed fully just yet. So last minute, we packed up this part of the rig and moved it into the house. So we're coming to you live, from inside the Willow Ridge Acres house here. Hopefully, all the puppy streams continue to work. I think I need to go out there in a minute and like at least turn one of the microphones on though, so people can like hear the puppies, but they're kind of loud. But yeah, if you're tuning in right now, drop in the comments. Let us know where you're watching us from. I know the Wallstrom family is tuned in right now. Thanks for joining us. Glad that you're here with us today. So the puppies all are right around like 3 weeks old now, right? Right?
They'll be 4 weeks on Thursday.
They'll be 4 weeks on Thursday. Well, which litter will? Because they weren't all born the same day.
May's, and then May was on Friday.
Yeah. So they'll all be so they'll be 4 weeks on Thursday, except for Millie's. Yes. I'm forgetting already, but again, as you're joining on, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let us know if the quality is good. We're hoping that it is, that that it's not glitching or anything. We were still experiencing a little bit of like connection issues right before we jumped on the live stream. So let us know if it's working for you, if you can hear us, if you can see us. Also drop some questions in the comments if you have questions. So Marsha's joining on right now. She said hi, that she's from Atlanta. She's watching from Atlanta. Thanks for watching, Marsha. Brian and the Wallstrom family, they're watching from Alfred, Florida, the panhandle of Florida. That's awesome. What's the temperature like in Florida right now? Is it as hot as it is in South Texas right now?
I think it's going to be 95 tomorrow, so it's pretty chilly.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian said, Jetta asked, what day were they born? When was their birthdays? So I normally have like a cheat sheet on like a chalkboard out in the garage that I can like just look over at and tell you. But we're not in the garage right now. So hold on, let me pull up my calendar real quick.
So Thursday or Friday, I think it's like 28th.
Where was it?
26th, 27th, and then 31st.
I have so much stuff on my calendar, it's hard to read it. Oh, and it's not even showing there. Okay. Yeah. So May's litter was born on the 26th of May. And then Mabel's litter was born the 27th of May, literally the very next morning. And then, let's see, Millie's was born on the 31st of May. So just a few days later. Fortified Roots is joining on. I've been like talking with him on Instagram. Just started following us. Thanks for jumping on and watching. He said it looks and sounds good. Trace Taylor is on. Said excellent quality. Awesome. Yeah, drop some more comments in here. Let's see. Carol said hello from Indiana. Love it. Thanks for joining on. Drop some more comments in some more questions in the comments, and we'll be happy to answer them. I'm going to run out there and just at least turn one of the microphones on so you can hear some puppies. All right, I'll be right back in.
Give me Mabel. We have Mabel in the house right now. She's getting a little break from her puppies, and I guess she's going to be coming inside with us after she retires, so she might as well get used to it. She's been trying to bust down the front door to get inside because it's so hot outside right now. But while Dad's in the garage, we'll let her up on the couch. Come on. Oh. There you go. Say hi. Say hi. Our kids are taking their nighttime showers and fun stuff.
Mabel took my spot.
Daddy's inside. She can hear him on the thing.
Oh, yeah. She's freaking out that she can hear the puppies over the speakers.
Oh, she's drinking my drink.
Hey, check this out. Jubilee's mama is tuned in. She said, "Good to see you are doing well."
We love Jubilee.
Yeah, tell them about Jubilee.
Jubilee was born Millie's litter. Mabel's
I think it was
second litter.
Mabel's second litter.
Yeah. And she was the tiniest puppy I've ever seen in my life. I think she weighed 8-point-something ounces. I mean, this sparkling water is like bigger.
Mabel, you're gonna knock all this down. No. She's trying to squeeze through all the charging cables.
So yeah, we bottle fed her. We kept her alive for sure. And then we had this couple come along and want a puppy, and they actually already had a Great Pyrenees, and I think they said he was the runt as well, and he turned out to be an amazing dog. And so it was worrisome when we had her, that, oh, well, people might not want her, because she's so little, even though she was extremely healthy, she was just very small. And they're like, oh no, we love her. Like we had a runt, and, it was great. And so we follow them on Instagram, and just to see her thriving and just have the best family is just awesome.
Yes, love it. Let's see. Got some more comments here. Nicole's tuned in, and she said they're really moving. They were. Now it looks like they're crashed out again.
They're on the go.
Yeah, they are.
Sure. And loud.
Let's see. Who's Mabel's litter. Mabel's litter is always moving around and loud. They're not right now, but if you wait.
The reason they're not is we started feeding them puppy food.
Yes.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, they're starting to get like soaked, or what do you call it? Mushy, soaked puppy food. I don't know what else to call it. Let's see, here's Millie's. They're all like puppy pile, taking a nap. May's are all crashed out. May's puppies are getting huge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see some more comments here. Lenny's tuned in and said, "Puppy with the spot on his back is so cute. I forgot which dog is which. Do you tell them apart by personality?" Well, they do look a bit different, actually.
We actually use colored collars to tell them all apart, and they get a collar within minutes of being born, and that's their color. So we just refer to them as like Mrs. Red, Mr. Green, and so on and so forth.
Well, this time, because we had so many at the same time, 3 different litters, there's not that many different color whelping collars. That's what they're called, is whelping collars. They're it's like a felt with like a Velcro kind of that, you put around them as a collar. And there's not that many different colors to choose from. So this time we had to use like a Sharpie marker and we wrote like Mabel, so we know what litter it goes to, even though we don't take them. We have not combined them. They've been isolated to their own whelping box. So the puppies have yet to meet the other litters. So, and we're doing that to, keep them safe. And, they haven't had their first round of shots yet. So we want to keep them healthy. But that's how we tell them apart. As you can see, let's see. And I think on Mabel's litter, maybe you can see it a little bit. You can see the whelping collars there, the magenta or purple one sleeping towards the top. But they start getting fluffy enough to where it's hard to see their collar, and you kind of have to dig underneath their fur to be able to see it. But that's how we do it. See, Brian asked a question. Aviana, yeah, I love that name. how many are girl puppies and how many are boy puppies? That's a good question. We actually had a pretty even split. We had, 12? We had 25 total, and we had 12 male and 13 female. So what are the odds, right? To almost have like a perfect even split there. It was actually wasn't like pretty heavily leaning towards the female, and then Millie had
quite a few boys.
Quite a few boys to even it out. So, yep. Let's see. Marcia said, "Puppies are hard work. How do you all do it?"
We each have our own kind of responsibilities, I guess, and we keep up with what we're responsible for, and then
yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely a family effort, but I mean, as you see, like Melissa in there with one of the with May's puppies right now, she has like the majority of shifts out there with the dogs, but it's definitely a whole family effort. Sometimes me, Michelle, and Melissa are out there bottle feeding all at the same time.
not anymore.
To help. Yeah, we're not having to do that anymore, but it's definitely, at times it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time for sure. But we're I guess kind of used to it. That was part of the reason why we moved out to like what they call the hill country here in South Texas. We wanted to get a little bit of property and some farm animals and stuff. And we have 5 kids, and 4 of them are boys. So I told my wife, I want to give the boys some work to do. So that's why we're here. So we definitely have work to do when we have 3 litters of puppies all at the same time. So.
And it's been the hottest summer, so we're having to do what we call animal water every single day. So
yes, yeah. People ask that is a question people ask a lot. Is how do like the Great Pyrenees do in the heat, like down here in South Texas? And as long as you provide them shade, a place to get shade during the day, whether it be a barn or under some good tree coverage, and you also provide them plenty of clean water, that will keep them cool enough. So, but the water, on the water side of it, they need to have enough water that they can get into it and not dump it out, because they will try to get into it. Even if you literally put like a bowl of water out there, they'll try to get into it by like pawing it, and they'll just dump it all out. And now they don't have any water to drink. And that would be really bad when it's 100 degrees outside. So, but right now, literally like every single day, we're going out there and we're cleaning out troughs and filling them back up. Like in the spring or the fall, we might do that, fill it up, like top it off with water once every couple days, and like dump it out and wash it out once a week at most. But now it's like once a day because it's that hot right now. But they do great as long as you.
Memphis is getting in the water.
Yeah, our
pig
pig
Memphis.
Memphis.
A video of him doing that.
We need to get him like a little. I see some people I follow on Instagram have like the little baby kiddie pools.
He's getting in his thing in his.
Yeah, it's true. He gets in like the actual like water trough. He's big enough.
And
to
he
do
just
it.
like rocks. It's hilarious.
It's awesome. Gloria's tuning in. She said they're totally adorable. They really are. And just wait, they're gonna get like they haven't even reached what I call like the pinnacle like fluffiness, like cute stage just yet. Is Mabel still inside?
No, I moved her.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm surprised she didn't bark. Fortified Roots said, I like that spotted one from May's. Yeah, so May is our only female, or really our only Great Pyrenees that have the badger markings. But as you can see, I'll kind of like highlight in on her and her litter. They tend to fade. The badger markings tend to fade. Sometimes Great Pyrenees will retain them for their whole life, but sometimes they don't. And like as you can see on May, you can't really tell that she was born with badger markings. She looked a lot like her puppies that have them when she was born. But she only had, of her 7, only 4 of her puppies have the badger markings. They are super cute when they're born like that. Just full disclosure, I can't guarantee that they'll retain the badger markings, for their whole life. We're not sure. This is May's first litter. Maybe somebody that gets one can report back to us and let us know, if they retained them or not. Melissa's holding up one of them to the camera. Yeah, they're super cute. See, Marcia said, I know puppies are a huge amount of work, but how do you handle multiple litters? Yeah.
I mean, the same way you handle one, or, like we have 5 kids. When we have multiple kids, it's just like we run on a schedule, like, okay, it's bottle time. We keep checklists of each litter to make sure we've fed everyone. So when it's feeding time for everybody, even if they're sleeping, like whatever the case is. And just like keeping the laundry on a
yes,
schedule.
that's kind of an old untold part of it.
Unless you had a barn, but we don't.
Yeah. So as you can see like on the floor of the whelping boxes, there's like pads or like a blanket or a pad. We actually kind of upgraded to those are made for whelping boxes, and
worth every penny.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but they're worth it. They're kind of like they absorb better.
Mm-hmm.
And before we just used like old beach towels and old like blankets that we had, and that was terrible. They get smelly pretty quick, and those we change them out at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically bought 2 sets of them, so we have 6 of them, and as one set is out with them, another set is being washed in our washer and dryer. So yeah, that's a kind of an untold part of the work. Is it definitely increases the amount of laundry that you do. And I mean, we're a family of 7 already, so we produce quite a bit of laundry already. So our washer and dryer, they're champs. So like I actually bought some parts to kind of do a tune-up on ours, but they're still working, and they're like the most basic washer and dryer. We got them when 20 years. We've had them for 20 years. They're not, there's nothing like digital to them. They're the old faithful brand, like they're like Whirlpool brand, but they're like super basic, but they work, but we keep those things running like pretty much anytime that we're awake, it's running
until I go to sleep at night.
Yes. And you put a load in there before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So like for an hour or so while we're sleeping, it's running. Yeah, I guess we might need to like hire some help to like keep it running even through the night. But
we'll teach the cat.
Teach the cat. The cat's up meowing the whole time for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Emily Garza commented and said they are so cute. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, so in a couple days we'll do like a 4-week picture. Right?
Yeah. So
on the website.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Emily is she's one of the ones that she actually has a deposit on 2 of the puppies that you're looking at right now. We're not sure which 2 just yet because we haven't done our selections yet, but she's put a deposit down on 2, so she's super pumped about that, and that's why she's saying she can't wait to see them in person. Yeah, she wants to meet them in person, I'm sure. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out just yet, on our website on willowridgeacres.com, on our puppies page, we updated it this week to have individual pictures of each puppy, and it shows. I guess I could kind of show you on here. Let me see if I can do it easily.
Another thing that seemed really easy, trying to get 25 like puppy pictures was a challenge.
Yes.
It took all 3 of us to do it.
Yes. All right, let's see here. I think on this I can like share my screen and I can show you guys.
That fly is like really aggressive.
I know. There's a fly in here, and I don't know where'd Rosie go when you need her?
Yeah, she's outside.
All right, so check this out. On our website, on the puppies page, we updated it to where it's got kind of like almost like a profile picture of each litter. So we've got, you can see Mac and then Mabel, and then here are their puppies, and we have them kind of named by their color and their gender.
Black one.
Yeah, everybody loves the black male.
Fat. Yeah.
He's a big boy. But I mean, give the other ones a little bit of time, they'll all start looking like him too. So yeah, if you haven't checked out that page just yet, go and look at that. You'll love it. and we're going to keep that that page updated once a week. We're going to start taking pictures of them once a week, and then once we do our selections, we'll update that page with I'll like Photoshop like a little like reserved stamp or something over the picture. Then that way it's really easy to see visually which puppies are available and which ones have been reserved already. So we are running low on we actually only have 2 females left that aren't under deposit at this point. So we do still have like a handful of the males, but just 2 females. Melissa's getting like mugged by Mabel's puppies. Look at this, by 10 puppies all at once. Love it. Oh yeah, watch out! You got one behind you, Melissa. All right, let's see. We've got some more comments here. Let's see, David asks, "Are you guys getting much sleep with all those pups?"
No, we are.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, like we kind of have a lot going on anyway in our family that like kind of interrupts sleep anyway, so we're just kind of used to it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't slept in about 15 years. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I always say it's so morbid, but like I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That's terrible. That's a terrible way to look at it. But yeah, I mean, we get sleep. It's not terrible.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Let's see. Deborah is joining, and she said she finally got on. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're joining us today. Jessica, one of our friends, Jessica, and they actually have a deposit on one of the puppies as well. She asked, at what age do you let the litters play together? That's a good question. And this is actually our first time having multiple litters together. So we're kind of figuring this out as we go.
Our vet will come vaccinate the pups and do their checkup at 6 weeks. So at that time, we'll ask her, hey, can we let them play together or do we need to continue to keep them separate? But that's not even that far away. It's only 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and Jessica, I'll tell you this right now. As soon as that happens, where we can have all of them together, I've said this every week, but like how you see Melissa with like the 10 puppies, like just attacking her and like loving all over, I'm going to do that with all 25 of them. That's going to happen.
You're going to get really scratched up.
That's fine. Deborah said the puppies are so gorgeous. Thank you. Said that is one trait our Ruger won't do. Weird. I'm not sure what trait? What were we talking about?
It might have been when I put Mabel on the couch. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Let's see here. Brian commented, said, Skyla says, I have to pee. Aviana said, or asked, where did you get their crates from? And Jetta asked, why do puppies do that puppy pile? Question. Yeah, those are great questions. Well, Skyla, I hope that everything comes out all right. And Aviana, sorry, that's a terrible dad joke. The crates are like what they're called are whelping boxes, and I made them myself. As I was making them, I honestly thought we need to like be better about making videos and just having the camera with us and hitting record. But as I was making the 2 more whelping boxes for these litters, I thought to myself halfway through, I'm like, I should have recorded this and made a video of like how to make a cost-effective whelping box, but I don't know. And then honestly, I thought after that, like, maybe I'll build one more and we'll like do some, contest where we'll give it away for free or something. I don't know. Do a video on it, but yeah, they're pretty simple. It's just 2 sheets of plywood from Home Depot, which have skyrocketed in price. But yeah, 2 sheets of plywood. I cut the plywood sheet in half, like lengthwise, and then I'm sure there's some type of woodworking term for the joint. But basically, like I cut them to where they fit like that, like V's, if that makes sense, like almost like scissored together. But that way they easily come apart. And they just stack flat. So even with 3 of them like that, they're not going to take up that much room when we're not using them. So it's still a pretty cost-effective way to do it, even though price of lumber is super high. I told my wife, like the first one we built, like it was stupid cheap, and then this time around, I actually had to get like I like downsized the thickness of the plywood, just the one size down, because the size that I had, the thickness I was using for the first one I made, I'm not even kidding, one sheet was like $68 for one sheet of it. I was like, that's way too expensive. Instead, the one I ended up using ended up being like $42 a sheet or something. It was still expensive, but yeah. And then Jetta's question: why do puppies do that puppy pile?
They don't really control their own body temperature very well, so they kind of huddle together and sleep.
Yep.
And then I think at this age where they are controlling their body temperature more, it's just habit. It's a comfort for them.
Yeah. So when they're first born, like Michelle said, they can't really regulate their own body temperature or their body heat, and so they'll like pile together to stay warm. And then and Millie's is the one that's doing it still big time, and
They're
hers are a good 4 or 5 days younger than the other litters, so they're I would say like one developmental step behind the other litters. So it's not abnormal to see them still doing it because they are younger.
And it's not cold in the garage. It's
not that cold. It's we're doing everything we can to not have it
overheating.
blazing hot in there. We put a pretty expensive air conditioner window unit in the garage, so hopefully our electric bill isn't crazy. We'll see.
It'll be fine.
Yes. Let's see. Mary Jo asked, hi, can they handle the humidity like it was here? It was 100 degrees plus humid. Yes. Yeah, again, as long as during the day you provide them ample shade and clean water. And then the one thing I failed to mention last time is brush them out for the summer. They're going to naturally try to shed. They have a double coat, and their like undercoat is that thicker wool coat that helps keep them warm in the winter. They're going to naturally try to shed that out, but sometimes it can kind of get stuck in there. And we need to do a video sometime where we're just brushing them. You'd be amazed how much just with every brush stroke, just like a whole ton of hair comes out. So even just brushing them out for this summer really, really helps. And then, even when it's humid, as long as you give them fresh water and plenty of shade, what we find is during the day, honestly, they kind of are just like lazy and lay around a lot unless they hear something that they need to get up and bark at. They're not really up playing. They do that a lot at night. So.
He's going to tell our other boys to quiet down. They're in the room right next to us. I just tuned it out. I guess I didn't even hear what they were doing. I think they're playing with an airplane or something. But yeah, about the humidity too, we had a family that took some pups to Louisiana. And I don't know where you are, but Louisiana is probably one of the most humid places I've ever been.
Yeah, we're actually we're talking with them. We're going to try to have them on the live stream in like 2 or 3 weeks from now, and be able to bring them on and interview them and ask them like what their experience has been. They bought 2 of our puppies, and a question we get often is, do Great Pyrenees have like litter mate syndrome? Because a lot of people will be interested in getting 2 puppies from the same litter, and we've had no problems with people doing that in the past. So we tell potential families that we've had success stories, but that's all we can really say. We don't have the story to tell because it's not our story. So we thought, hey, let's bring on one of those families on the live stream soon and kind of do like a little interview and let you guys ask them questions as well. So we've got that coming up in a couple of weeks on the live stream. So stay tuned for that. And then also I'm excited about this next week. We're going to be bringing on a guest. It's actually a fellow YouTube creator, another channel similar to ours. You might actually already subscribe to them, but it's another channel called Oso Farm, OSO Farm. If you haven't yet, go and check them out. And we're going to bring them. It's Brian and Brandy at Oso Farm. They're going to be on. They might actually be watching right now, but we're going to bring them on as like a guest to interview them next week. They also have Great Pyrenees as well. So it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Marcia asked, will you be keeping any of the pups? Look at her. She's going to try to work me on this.
No.
She is. Look at her.
No.
She's thinking about it.
No, not this time. No.
No. Yeah, we definitely don't have a plan to keep any of them. We've kept one puppy from only one puppy from one of our own litters in the past, and that was a puppy from our very first litter. That's Meredith, and that's actually Melissa's dog. Is
our daughter had over 50 adults that
yes,
we know that
she had a petition
should no longer be friends with.
Oh, I bet Jessica was one of them. Josh and Jessica, and they're watching right now.
Sign this petition for her to keep this dog. And it's like she went through all this effort to get adults. It wasn't just, her friends. It was adults that we ended up saying yes.
Yes. But yeah, we kept Meredith from the first litter, and right now we don't have any plans to keep any from this litter. We are gonna sit down soon and just come up with a plan of because the sad thing of, I don't want to say it out loud because she'll start crying. The sad thing the dogs don't live forever, right? So we have to start coming up with the I don't know what's the term for it, the plan to keep the legacy going. So but we're not close to that point yet, so we're not keeping any from these litters. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Nicole asked, or she said, well, you know which one I'm after. Light pink all the way. I can't even tell how big she is.
Is it light pink from, I think there's a light pink in.
She likes light pink from Mabel's litter. And I already told Nicole that light pink from Mabel's litter is a Spitfire. Feisty. She's a Spitfire. So she's going to be a lot to handle if you're up for it.
She has a cute face, but she talks back on not.
She's one of the most vocal ones so far. Yeah. So and very early on,
she's just very.
Yes. Let's see. Look, Peggy from church is tuning in and said, "Too cute. We love watching the puppies grow." Thanks for tuning in and watching. Let's see. Josh is watching. He said, "I need to experience the fluff pile." Yes. Josh, you are welcome to come and experience it when they get to that stage. Uh-huh. All 25 of them. It's going to be a lot of floof for sure. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting some answers. So Dovetail is what Brian says is the name of that joint that I cut, but then Josh also said that would be called a finger joint. So, did you say that because of the way I did that? Is it a finger joint? I'm not sure.
It works. That's what matters.
Yes, but it works great, and it's super simple. I just drew it out, with a pencil on it, and use my jigsaw to cut out the finger joint or the dovetail, and they just slip together real easy, and it's sturdy enough. It stays standing on its own, and then when I break it down, they just pull apart and stack super easy. So Mary Jo asks, how long have you been raising pups, and how did you decide to start raising them? Thank you. You can answer that
one. Mabel had her first litter in 2020, in January 2020. That was we kept those a long time. Thank you, COVID, for that. I don't even remember how we decided to start raising pups. And looking back, we honestly had no idea what we were really doing. We've figured a lot of it out as we've gone along. But I think it just really came down to us eventually wanting to keep a puppy on the farm, or a guardian on the farm. And it just made sense. And we had, I guess, pre-planned it because we got Mac and Mabel from 2 different breeders because we knew there was some potential. We were kind of undecided what we were going to do. And then as we really got to know the dogs, we instantly fell in love with the breed. Yeah. And it's one of those things. I mean, I'm sure every breeder says this about their dog breed, that
that dog breed is the best ever. I'm sure it's like so cliche, but I honestly believe like Great Pyrenees is such a different breed.
Because we have other dogs here.
Yeah, and we love animals. In fact, one of them's scratching at the door.
But it's just a different kind of experience, for sure.
Like this is Rosie, and she's not gonna look. This is Rosie, our blue heeler pup, and she's awesome. She's an awesome dog. She's been great. She's super loyal. She loves riding in the truck with me. She's awesome at herding our goats, like super instinctual.
Or the cable guy.
Or the cable guy. Yeah, we actually had our like cable guy come out to check on our Wi-Fi, and she was all like barking at him. And when he was walking away, she like went up and did like the blue heeler like nip at his heels, and he just like laughed at her. But yeah. Anyway, I was saying all that to say like the Great Pyrenees breed, they're like, it's just different. It's almost like it's almost like they're like somehow like a hybrid of like a dog and like livestock in a way. I don't know, like they're not like a dog like in your normal sense. Like they're almost more like, I don't know, almost more like part dog, part cat, if that makes sense, because they don't really like.
It's because they don't lick, and they are.
Oh yeah.
Overly like Gloria. She gets excited and she'll like knock something down and then jump up on the couch and cause a huge ruckus, but they don't do that.
Right. Yeah, and they don't really lick a lot. Like they don't lick your face, they don't lick your hands, stuff like that. But then also like they're almost kind of like a cat where they don't really like respond to you when you call them. They kind of come to you when they want to, like after you like earn their respect, you know?
Like seeing like a full circle thing, like I'm that way and you like me, and so that's why you like them.
True.
I'm just like, I'll do what I want when I want.
True.
And they're like that.
But yeah, I guess long answer to that question. But like what made us decide to start, raising puppies was, I mean, we have a love for animals, big time, and dogs. And I think I shared this on one of the previous live streams. Like one of my earliest memories, I grew up like up in the Midwest, up in Missouri, and one of my grandpa's cousins. So I don't even know what that means to me on the family tree. I don't know, but
Arkansas.
Yeah, but we went and visited his farm down in like South Missouri. And he had like 100 acres and a whole bunch of cattle, but he also had a whole bunch of dogs. And I was like in heaven. I was probably only like 7 years old, and I was loving every single minute of it. And I remember my grandpa asking me like, "You're gonna have something like this when you grow up, aren't you?" And I just smiled and I was like, "Yep." And now fast forward, here we are. So. That was definitely, something that I always wanted in life. And so I'm not surprised that this is where we're at. And, it's just really for, a love of the dogs and a love of the breed. And it's something we really, really enjoy doing. We've said it before. Don't look at this and like, I hope we're not like glorifying breeding dogs and like where everybody thinks that they're going to go out and do it. Like it is a ton of work. And also there's not a ton of money in it. Like we're not doing it for the money. We spend a crap ton of money on dog food. Like I'm not even kidding. And even once all these puppies are gone, we still have to feed our adult dogs, and they eat a lot. So I've shared it before, but right now, even before the puppies were born, and we're about to have to start feeding puppies too, not even counting feeding the puppies, we on average buy 6 40-pound bags of dog food every 3 weeks. So it's a lot.
And just emotionally, like I've been pregnant, we have children, but having puppies is kind of a similar experience because birth can be, what's the right word? Unpredictable. And then, Mabel lost a puppy
Yes.
in her second litter, and then she lost another one this time. The first time we weren't there when the puppy passed, and this time, unfortunately, I was holding it and I had tried to save it, and just that side of it is something that you're either going to have to like work through or it will like take you out, because like it's something that you just can't like it's hard to process, like how like you were literally just alive and now you're not, and I couldn't save you, and just like as a person you just want to be able to like save them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, even with everything that you can possibly do, it's not enough.
Yep.
So, and you just have to be able to let go. But we have another comment here from Back Fence Farm, and this is actually another person that has a deposit on one of the puppies. And I don't know the husband's name. I've been talking with Allie, the wife, and this is the husband commenting here. But he's saying, trying to tell my wife that only one pup will suffice, but her watching this means I'm fighting a losing battle. I know Allie's been talking about
We've always had two, and so we can't say what it's like to only have one.
Yep. Yeah, we started with Mac and Mabel. We literally coordinated it to where we picked them up the same day, but from different breeders. We just were on a very long road trip that day, and went and picked up one, and then drove, a couple hours, and picked up the other one, and then drove a couple hours home, and a lot of driving, but it was worth it.
I think
and
we preached that night too.
I probably did. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Allie and Back Fence Farm, if you're looking for a second, let us know, especially, quick if you're wanting another female, because the females are going very quick. Right before this live stream, we only had 2 left that weren't under deposit. So we actually just put one of that third one under deposit just hours before the live stream. So they're going quick. We still have a handful of males though. And the males, actually, our males get quite a bit of attention too, because of the sheer size of Mac.
Once they're bigger.
Yeah. Once they start getting bigger, because Mac is such a stud.
He is.
He's a big boy.
That's why we're going to sit down and talk about our kind of legacy path, is because if we could somehow save part of that.
Yes.
And keep, I don't know.
Yep. All right. Brian said that Jetta asked, how old are the mommies?
Oh, I had to do some math. Mabel is...
I can pull up a thing where it's got their birthdays, if that helps.
Mm-hmm. So Mac and Mabel are both 4? No, 3.5.
Yeah, Mabel's 3.5. Millie is...
It's like on the spot math.
I know.
2.5.
Yeah, Millie's 2.5.
And then May's 1.5.
Yep. Yeah, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5. Pretty easy. Yeah, Mabel is the oldest, 3.5. Millie is 2.5, and
maybe she'll kill the fly.
Hey, come here. Our blue healer loves to kill flies in the house, which is awesome.
Incredible.
It's awesome. She
pins it against the window and then scrapes it down and then
and she eats them.
And I'm like, how did you do that? We normally over the summer have a pretty bad fly problem just because of, animals. It is what it is. But we only have one in the house right now, and she just hasn't killed it yet.
So if you're looking for some pest control for flies, let us know. We'll bring Rosie over. All right, let's see. Brian said, Katie, my wife asked, did any of the mamas have any complications before, during, after birth?
Only Mabel. Mabel is retiring. She's an amazing dog.
Yes.
I just don't want to take the chance of potentially losing her over something, over a litter. She actually had severe mastitis the week before she gave birth. And so she was on antibiotics. Our vet came out and checked her ahead of time. After she had the puppies, I was like, oh, perfect. They're eating. Her situation felt better. And then it was a Saturday night into Sunday. She was just laying on the floor, wasn't acting like herself, took her temperature. She had a fever again. So I spent the night with her. in the emergency vet, and that cost, you know, a pretty penny. At that point, we were just checking to make sure she didn't have a retained puppy or anything like that, and everything was fine. It was just her mastitis was just really trying to work its way through, and thankfully the antibiotics that she was on ended up kicking in a couple of days later. We did have to call the emergency vet one more time just because I'm like, oh my gosh, like something's wrong. And the guy was like, I promise it's okay. And I was like, tell me specifically at what point I need to bring her back in there. And they were like so patient. And like, I mean, thankfully this is one of those you get what you pay for. Like they were actually like so helpful, and they called to check on her 2 times and make sure she was okay. But yeah, that was the only complication. The actual birth process, she did great.
Yep.
We've never had any issues with birth, and this breed actually just does really well during birth. I mean, Mabel literally gave birth to 8
of them. Yeah.
In the
On
hay
her own.
bales.
Yeah, if you weren't tuned in for one of our previous live streams, we talked about that. Mabel had so we were all focused on May because she was the first one to be bred. We knew she was going to go first, and then we had May in the garage in a whelping box, and we were all eyes on May, and she went into labor. That early evening of that day that she went into labor, and she had her puppies, and we had all the focus on her, and we knew Mabel was close but not super close,
and we had been checking her temperature, all the things we normally do.
And
everything was fine. But there is a window when the temperature drops. It's usually about, they say, 5 to 24 hours. Mabel's window had to be the 5 hours.
Yes.
Because that was about how long she went without us completely watching her, and she actually slept outside, which we had her in the garage, but she was outside that night because May had just given birth, and we were concerned about
how they would
just
do
the sounds
being
and
in the same
territorial
area together.
situation.
Yes.
So she slept outside, and then ended up, we went out at feeding time and found her
in the next morning
with a bunch of puppies.
Yeah. So what happened was that night when May gave birth to her puppies, right before, it was a late night, and I went in to go to bed. But before I did, I went outside to check on Mabel, and she's just laying out like over by our cars, like by the driveway, and laying out underneath the stars. And I went and looked at her, and she was like, she wasn't breathing heavy. She loves me. Like I'm her person. And she does like what we call her smiling eyes. When she sees me, she like smile, like she squints her eyes. And she did that, and she looked like totally normal. So I was like, oh, she's golden. And we left her out there to sleep like she normally does. Oh, one of the puppies are getting loud. That's probably light pink. I'm telling you, Nicole, that one's spicy. But anyway, went to bed, and then the next morning I'm up making coffee, and the boys are up, to start, feeding time for our animals. And we've got we have like some round bales of hay, and I've got them rolled like kind of close together. And they went down there to feed, and they found that Mabel had like nested up underneath 2 of the round bales where they formed like a little spot between them. And she nested down in there, and she had already had 8 of hers. She ended up having 11 puppies, but she had 8 of them on her own underneath the hay bales. And she must have had them like right there early in the morning, because she was still in labor and had a few more after that. So we brought her and all the puppies up into the whelping box in the garage when we found them, and they were all fine. It was one of her last ones that was born, just super weak, that didn't make it. And she's is that your Miss Light Pink, Mabel? Is that the one that's making all the noise? She doesn't care. She's like, please keep me in here away from them. All right, let's see. We have somebody tuning in saying my Ambrose is 17 months. That's awesome. They get
out of the awkward stage.
Yeah, they get big quick though. I bet Ambrose is very big at that point. Let's see. Jerry asks, how will you identify them individually when they come out of the whelping boxes?
So they'll have a safety collar on that will be a color that's assigned to them.
Come here, Mabel. Come here. You want up?
And they have
Be a lap
different.
dog.
We got same colors, but some have different patterns on them. So then we'll identify the litter by the pattern. But some of them you can just tell, who they are.
Yeah, so they have the whelping collars right now, but once they grow out of the whelping collars, I've got so much hair all over me all of a sudden. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, once they grow out of the whelping collars, we're gonna end up buying like a little bit like the next stage up. Again, like color-coded collars that kind of buckle onto them. Oh, is that right, Mabel?
That was long.
Yeah, that was.
Hold on.
Okay. She's going to let all the dogs out because they're ready to go out and bark at something. Ashley Gardner asks, has Mac met any of the puppies yet? Or do you wait a while to introduce puppies to the other adults? So Mac has not met any of his puppies just yet. Since the puppies have not been vaccinated, they haven't had their puppy shots just yet. We're being very careful with them. And we haven't even really brought them out of the whelping box other than holding. Yeah, I mean, Melissa's brought one into the house to show us every once in a while, but like we haven't brought them out of the whelping box and set them on the ground, if that makes sense. Like they've been in there, keeping them safe and healthy. But once they get a little bit bigger and they've gotten their shots, then we'll start moving them out, especially the ones that are going to be livestock guardian dogs. We'll start moving them out to be, we have like an outdoor kennel that's in our animal area that we kind of transition them to in there so that they're still protected, but then they can be in and around our livestock or in and around the area with our livestock and but still protected from them and get used to like the smell and looking at them and then as they get bigger, we start going out there and letting them out for like some supervised time. And one of our goats, he's kind of he's a jerk. He likes to try to like, buck the puppies. So we keep an eye on him.
And Memphis, our pig, is a biter, but not in a like aggressive way. Just like if they were like in his space and he didn't want them there, he would nip at them. And so we just try to keep that under control.
Yep. But yeah, at that point, Mac will meet, some of his puppies and
funny thing, he won't care.
He won't. He'll just like sniff them and be like,
where did you come from?
Yeah, he's gonna be like, where the heck did all these puppies come from?
It's not like a mother where like, they know their puppies. Like Mac doesn't care.
He's just gonna be like, where did all these come from?
Why are they here?
Why are they here? He's a terrible father. I'm just kidding. He's a great dog. So hope that answers your question, Ashley. Let's see. Brian asked, when it cools off again and if when fuel prices drop, the girls definitely would like to visit the farm. We're off to bed. They are. So we have to sign off. You guys are doing great. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Here. Yeah. Keep us posted, Brian. Yeah, it would be an expensive trip right now, but keep us posted. And we'd love to have you guys out to the farm sometime. All right, let's see. Nicole asks, can Melissa point out light pink in the box? It's difficult to tell from here.
Can you hear her or no?
I think Melissa can hear. Yeah, look, she can hear us. All right, so Nicole, she's going to get light pink, and I'm going to focus in on Mabel's litter here. So here is light pink.
Her.
Yeah, she's feisty. Look at her. She's a little fighter.
She is.
I don't think we have we don't have the microphone on Mabel's litter. We have it on May's. So if she's like squealing, you can't hear her that much, but you can see her. So that's the light pink one. And you know what? She may not even end up being like the craziest one. It's just, so far she was definitely the earliest one to like start really barking and being like alert to stuff.
She does have the sweetest little face though.
She really does.
It's kind of like this. I was like, whoa.
Yes.
So yesterday, Melissa and I were in there with the puppies, and they were sleeping. Mabel's litter was sleeping, and we walked over and we're just talking over by him. And the black collar boy woke up and started barking and like at Melissa, like a protective, like what are you doing here type bark. And I was like, oh my gosh, like instinctually he was just already going at it.
Is that the black boy?
Yeah.
Black collar boy. Yep.
They look a little bit wet. We've been having to wipe them off after they eat the kind of puppy food. It's a very messy process right now.
Yeah, the puppy food is like soaked in like goat's milk. So, and they don't really have like good eating manners. When you put the tray down there with soaked dog food in it, they just like go ham on it. Like they'll get in the tray with the food and like, it's just like a puppy food party. They love it. We'll have to record that sometime. Yeah, we'll have to share that. Mabel decided she wants to come back inside. If you guys have any more questions, drop them in the comments. We'll stay on here for just a few more minutes. We're approaching an hour. We try to keep it at an hour to respect everybody's time. And thank you, Mabel. And again, you'll want to tune in next week for sure. If you didn't hear, we're going to have some special guests on with us, some fellow YouTube creators. They might actually be watching right now. I'm not sure if they're watching the live stream right now with us, but another YouTube channel that does similar content, a small farm, and they have a large family, even bigger than our family. They have more kids than us, and then they also have Great Pyrenees. It's a YouTube channel called OSO Farm, OSO Farm. So check them out, and we're going to have them on the live stream with us, and we're still going to show the puppies. And they actually have some Great Pyrenees puppies right now too.
And they have grass.
They have grass too, because they live a little bit further up north, so they must get some rain every once in a while. Like we haven't had rain, and I don't remember when.
There's one day it's supposed to rain next week, 40% chance. So
yeah, we'll see. That probably means it will rain for like 2 minutes and then stop. But yeah, we're gonna have them on the live stream, and like I said, they have Great Pyrenees puppies right now too. They had one litter, and I think they're like 7 weeks old now, so they're quite a bit further along than ours are. But we're gonna have them on and interview them and let them share part of their story and what they love about the breed and what they've learned through breeding Great Pyrenees as well. Let's see. We got a question or a comment. Oh, they're so cute. I got 2 half-breed Pyrenees Labrador, 4 months old.
Aww.
That's
gonna be a big dog.
A Pyrenees Labrador. That's got to be a cool dog.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning into the live stream and watching. You guys have any last minute questions? Drop them in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us today and keeping the chat going and dropping some awesome questions in there. And again, we have that guest next week, Oso Farm, and then we're working on lining up another one. We might do it the week after. I'm not sure. We'll probably push it to like 2 weeks after. Was that like July 12th or something like that? We're working on bringing on a family that bought 2 puppies from us from our most previous litter, from Millie's litter, last litter, and bought like a brother and sister from us. And we get asked a lot, like, do the Great Pyrenees have littermate syndrome? Like, do they, if you were to get 2 from the same litter, are they going to fight a lot? And we've not had that experience with our own, puppies from going to homes together. But we figured instead of us telling you that, we're going to bring on a family that has bought 2 puppies from us from the same litter and allowed them to tell you guys what their experience has been. And I'm sure they'll have their dogs on the live stream with them. They named them Lux and Luna. So I'm sure Lux and Luna will be on the live stream, and we're going to be excited to see them because we haven't seen them in a while. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, Luna was actually a beautiful dog, and she actually looks like light pink.
Yes. All right, so So she said they're sweet but also loud. They're my alarm clocks every morning. Yep. Yeah, I bet the Pyrenees Labrador mix, I bet they would be a bit loud. Awesome. Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure again, set your notifications the next time you see us post, when we get the next live stream scheduled. Go ahead and set your notification. That way you don't miss it. And we thank you guys for joining in, and hope you guys have a great week. See you guys again soon.